1, 2, 3, 4 Media Bio.
So now we will study about human anatomical figures and postures, and we will start from anatomical planes. So what's the anatomical position of the body? Well, it is where the human body is standing upright, head and eyes looking the front, feet together, and palms facing forward. Something like this. Now this is the head. This is called the trunk of the human body, which consists of the chest and abdomen, and finally these are the limbs, that is your arms and legs. So what about the anatomical planes? Well, there are 3 types of anatomical planes. So here's a 3D image of the human body, which is placed in the 3 Cartesian coordinates, or the Cartesian planes. I hope you know what are Cartesian coordinates. Even if you don't, just so you know that this plane in red is the medial plane, which passes from the back of the body. And this plane divides the body into left and right halves. Now that makes sense, isn't it? That plane in blue is the coronal plane, which passes from the side of the body. And the coronal plane divides the body into front and back halves, and that's why they look alike. Finally, one more plane is there, which is the horizontal plane, and this passes through your abdomen. This horizontal plane divides the body into top and bottom halves. And yay, we completed the study of 3 planes of anatomy. So now, we will move on to the anatomical movements of the body. And the first movement is flexion and extension. So flexion is the movement where the angle in a joint decreases. Example, flexing of your elbow or knee. And extension is the movement where the angle in a joint increases. Example, stretching or extending your arm, which is the elbow, or extending your knee. Next, abduction and adduction. Abduction. It's the movement where a body part moves away from the body, for example, stretching arms away from the body. Adduction. It's the movement where a body part moves towards the body, for example, bringing arms towards the body. Next, medial rotation and lateral rotation. Medial rotation. It's the rotational movement where a body part moves towards the body, for example, bringing arms towards the body. Lateral rotation. It's the rotational movement where a body part moves away from the body, for example, stretching arms away from the body. Next, pronation and supination. Pronation. It's the rotational movement where the palm or the foot faces away from the body, for example, resting the foot on the ankle. You can see that in the picture. Supination. It's the rotational movement where the palm or the foot faces towards the body, for example, resting or lifting the foot on the toe. Next, opposition and reposition. Opposition. It's the limited pair of movements, note the word pair, where 2 body parts changes their position to come closer to each other. For example, the thumb and the little finger changes their position so as to touch each other. Reposition. It's the limited pair of movements where 2 body parts changes their position to go back to their original position. Example, the thumb and the little finger changes their position back to where they came from. See picture below. Our final anatomical movement is circumduction. It's the combination of all 4 movements, namely flexion, extension, abduction, and adduction. Example, rotating your arm straight from the shoulder, shown clearly in the picture. Okie dokie, let's sum up things. So the 3 anatomical planes are medial plane, coronal plane, and the horizontal plane. And the 6 anatomical movements are flexion and extension, abduction and adduction, medial rotation and lateral rotation, pronation and supination, opposition and reposition, and finally circumduction. So hey, thanks a million for watching this video, and I think you comment down below your feedbacks. And please subscribe to 1234 Media Bio, to gain more knowledge.